G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I've got an exciting one. I've got the unboxing and my initial impressions on the Square Golf Home Launch Monitor. And this is super exciting because this is a product I really wanted to test when it initially came out. However, here in Australia, it's not actually available for purchase. And so how do I have access to this launch monitor in Australia? This launch monitor is currently not being sold in Australia, but thankfully due to my partnership with Bayside Golf with Sam, I was able to get access to this from Bayside and from him ordering it through the UK website. And ultimately we thought, why don't we get a launch monitor to test in depth and just to see whether this thing could be used in one of Bayside's budget packages. Currently at the moment, the Garmin R10 and the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro are really the two kings of the budget launch monitor category, in my opinion, especially the MLM2 Pro. However, this thing could really change the game because not only can you hit balls with this thing, you can also putt. So I'm really excited to test this thing and actually see if it is the launch monitor we have all been waiting for. But first, we need to unbox this thing. So let's do that now. So unboxing this thing and actually opening it up for the first time, the first thing you'll notice is that this is actually made by the same people who make the X-Putt. And when you open it up, you can actually really see that because it's in the same design language that you see from the X-Putt. All of those individual boxes, all labeled, all neatly packed away in the actual big box. So you really get a feel like it is the same company that has made the X-Putt. Anyone that's used the X-Putt, this is exactly how it looks in the packaging. And so the design language is the same across both devices. Okay, so starting from the left, we'll go from the left. The first box you've got is the remote control. So we'll open this up now. In this is, as it says, the remote control, but you also do get a few other goodies as well. So let's open this up. You first off get a power cable. So you get a USB-C type power cable. And yes, for anyone who wants to know, you can charge this device while you are using it. So the battery that you get, I'll unbox the battery in a second, but the battery you get is quite small. It doesn't last that long. So yes, you can charge this thing with a separate power bank while using it. Okay, what else do we get in this box? So we've got the actual remote control itself, and the design language, as you can see, is pretty much identical to the X-Putt controller as well. You get a user manual, and then finally you get your lanyard. And then you also get, in this little bag, this is quite important, you get some batteries for the actual remote, and you get your Square Golf $1,000 credit card. So you've got that as well, so you get 1,000 credits. I'll talk about the actual, it's not a subscription fee, but this unit does use credits. And I'll explain it all when we're actually using the software. And then you get these stickers that you put on your club to get club data. So yes, this thing does do club data in a certain mode, in the data mode, and you have to use these stickers to get that club data. So you get some stickers there. So that is all from the remote control box. Okay, moving to this box. This is the actual battery. What is weird about this device is it does use an external battery pack. So I'm not sure if you can purchase more of these separately. I'd have to check the website, but what you can do is you can actually charge the unit with a USB power bank while using it. So realistically, you probably don't need to go and purchase more of these batteries because you can just charge it while using it. Okay, the launch monitor itself. Let's unbox this and let's take a look. I have unboxed this obviously and tested it out before making this video, but let's get this out. As you can see, the Square Golf Launch Monitor in all its glory. There is the alignment stick, which is actually quite difficult to get out, but that's the alignment stick you get. And then that is the actual unit itself. USB-C charging. And you can see the front. It actually has two cameras. I'll hold it at an angle. This device does use dual cameras, so one of them is right at the very top. You can see it just there. You've got your IR sensors there, and then you've got a camera down there at the bottom. So it is a dual camera unit. What I'll say about this unit is just feeling it for the first time, it definitely feels, I'll try and get some audio, it definitely feels like a cheaper device. The actual hardware itself, the actual casing, it doesn't feel like a really robust, expensive device. But to be honest, I mean, it's not. So, you know, you can't expect everything out of a unit. It doesn't feel like a really high-end device. That doesn't mean it's not accurate. It doesn't mean it's not good. It just doesn't feel like a really expensive device. You can tell the metal used it's not, I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel dense. It just feels light, and it feels like a cheaper device in terms of the hardware. You can see the top there. You've got your power button, your Bluetooth button, and even this plastic, it just doesn't feel like a real expensive plastic. But yeah, that is the unit itself. And like I said, it uses this battery pack, which you insert in the bottom, and yeah, it just snaps into place, and that's your unit. Okay, what else do we get? We get our square golf balls. Now, these, again, this is probably the biggest limiting factor of this device, and I'll talk about it more later on, but what you get is these golf balls included in the actual launch monitor kit. These golf balls are from Saint 9. Now, Saint 9 is a Korean company, and it makes golf balls. They actually sponsor the LPGA Tour, but none of the LPGA Tour players that I could find, and no PGA Tour players, actually use these golf balls. So these golf balls are a 3-piece golf ball. So they are the Saint 9, premium golf ball. But in saying that, these are not on the same level as like a Pro V1, a TP5, or anything like that. They don't feel bad. They just don't feel like a premium golf ball. I'll do a lot more ball testing. They definitely spin a lot more than a Pro V1. They definitely spin a lot more than my ball of choice, the TP5X. I think for every, your everyday golfer, these golf balls are going to be absolutely fine. But one thing I will say about these units that require specific golf balls with dots on, I really don't like the fact that you have to use a golf ball that you're not going to use on course. Unless you use these golf balls on course, your data's not going to be 100% accurate when you go outside and use your normal golf ball, whatever that is. They offer 3-piece premium golf balls. They do also offer on their website 2-piece golf balls as well. But yeah, like I said, these are the 3-piece golf balls, and that's what you get included in the set. You get 3 of them. The actual box though looks pretty cool. It's got those characters on there, nice and colorful. You can see there their product performance. So it's saying this is the longest, softest, highest accuracy, and 8-iron spin, is the highest. So it's a high launching, high spinning golf ball, which is exactly what I've seen. Okay, and then finally in the box, you get this, the actual swing stick. Now, what's cool about this device is you do have the additional option to use this swing stick if you cannot swing a normal golf club in your environment. If you're going to travel with this device, if you're going to use this in a room that doesn't have high enough ceilings, you can use this swing stick. I haven't actually unboxed this yet, so this will be the first time I'm actually laying eyes on this. But we'll rip it out and we'll have a look. This is definitely a cool idea. I can't see myself using this, but I definitely like that this is an option. Okay, and there is the Square Golf swing stick. So it's pretty cool. I've never seen an actual company do something like this. So I'm actually really keen to see how this thing performs. I will have a completely separate playthrough video with this, and we'll just see how it goes compared to a normal golf club. So yeah, that is the swing stick. I've got to say, the swing stick, the grip is actually quite nice. It is quite a nice grip. So they've done a good job with that. It feels exactly like a Tour Velvet. So yeah, swing stick. Okay, that is the unboxing of the Square Golf launch monitor. Now it's time to set this thing up. We'll get it aligned. We'll hit some shots. You do actually have a few options to actually use this device. So you can use an iPad or an iOS device, you can use an Android device, or you can use a PC. Today I'll be using my iPad, and the reason for that is because people who get this device more than likely are not going to have a full SIM setup like this, and more than likely are going to be using a mobile device to use this thing. And so what I thought I'd do today is use my iPad and show that experience versus using my actual computer. So the first thing you do when you get this device is you will need to set up a Square Golf account. It takes a few minutes to do this, it really doesn't take long. And then when you open the application, it will actually take probably about a minute the first time you open it just to load all the assets. The next time you open up the app, it is really quick to do so. To actually pair this is very easy and very quick to pair. You don't need to pair it before you jump into the app. You don't even need to pair it to your computer before you use your PC version. All you do is open the application, you hit continue. Once you've got your login screen, I should actually turn the device on. So the device is just powering up now. And once it powers up, it will quickly find the device and it will pair up, or you'll select pair, and it's very simple. One of the biggest issues I had with the MLM2 Pro was when I first got it, I had major disconnect issues. The pairing process was just not good. This device, as you can see, really simple. We can see the unit there, we'll select that, and it's paired up, ready to go. It is really that simple. Okay, let's get this thing aligned. So the alignment process for this, you do get the alignment stick that you can use in the box, so let's use this. To use this, what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna get my laser. I'm gonna set my laser up, and I'm gonna set it up through the actual ball and onto the center of the screen. So I'm gonna get it perfectly through my hitting zone and the center of my screen. Whenever I personally do this, I like to set it up on my putting line because that's the line that I like to reference everything off. And you do get a 15 by 15 centimeter hitting area box. So I love that because if you think about units like the SkyTrack Plus, those have a really, really small hitting window. With this unit, you can actually set it up so you can have your putting line separated from where you're actually hitting from. So that for me is a massive, massive thumbs up, massive tick. Okay, I've got my laser line now put exactly through where I'm going to putt the ball going to my screen. So now I'm going to put this stick on that laser line. Okay, the stick is down. I've removed my laser because the stick is in place. Then from the app, I'm going to go into the settings menu. I'm going to click target alignment and we'll wait a little bit, and the unit has now picked up on the alignment stick. It's saying it's 1.6 degrees to the right. So now all I have to do is go over to the unit and I can physically move the unit until we get that onto 0. Oh, I've gone too far now, I've gone left. That has now settled out pretty much to 0.0. It's jumping around from 0.2 right to 0. So I'm happy with that. That for me is aligned, so I'm going to select OK, and now that has been aligned to my actual target line. I will not be putting this stick back in now because it is aligned. I don't want to move the unit. What you'll notice is when you align this thing, or when you align any photometric based unit from the side, you make the tiniest of movements to actually get this thing perfectly aligned. So that is now aligned. I'm happy. Target alignment is pretty cool with this unit. Let's just walk through this app now. So with the app, like I said, you get that 1,000 free credits when you join. So the credits, this thing, it says it doesn't have subscription fees, but it does use credits, and these credits, it's going to be 1 credit per hole. So if I go play 18 holes, I'm going to be using 18 credits. If you've got 2 players and they're both playing 18 holes, then it's going to take 36 credits. So the credits themselves, yes, it's not a subscription fee. However, you do have to purchase credits if you want to play the actual game. If you want to use the driving range, the putting practice, and I believe the closest to the pin, you don't have to use credits. You only have to use the credits if you want to go play the actual simulated golf. So from the home page, you've got your driving range, closest to the pin, and putting practice. We'll open up the first tab, which is the driving range. You get 2 options. You get graphics mode and you get data mode. So the difference between these two is the actual graphics mode is going to take you to a driving range, where the data mode is just going to bring up a data screen. We'll check out the graphics mode first. Just before we do that though, you get an option below whether you want the camera to be tracking or fixed. So I will leave it as tracking and we'll jump in and we'll have a look at the actual driving range. What you can notice is how quick the actual unit picks up and goes to that driving range. It's not a massive delay. It doesn't take long to get into this. Okay, so this is the driving range. Pretty basic range. You do have the option to cycle through all of your clubs. So you can go from sand wedge all the way to driver. The annoying thing is you cannot use the putter on the driving range or in the data mode. And that is going to be a problem when we talk about GS Pro connections using a third-party connector. At the making of this video, there is no official GS Pro connector for this device. I have heard rumors that there is one coming, so it might even be out when I release this video, but at the making of this video, there is no official integration with GS Pro, and so not being able to use a putter in a driving range like this causes an issue, because that means in GS Pro, you cannot select putter to actually putt. So you can go into the settings and you can actually change the camera from tracking to fixed while you're in the driving range as well. You do have that option. What is weird is I've got a different aspect ratio when I'm in the menu or in the settings, and then when I actually jump into the driving range or jump into the course, it changes to a full display. So a little bit of a mismatch with the aspect ratio. However, I mean, look, at least the courses and everything have a landscape mode, and the menus are all landscape. And when we do enter the course, it is full screen. So it is what it is. Okay, let's quit out of this. What I will say is this device, for a device that has come out, and this is the first version of the software I'm using, it is very impressive. If you think to the Garmin R10, if you think to the MLM2 Pro, when they first came out, the softwares were not good. They improved big time, but straight off the bat, the software for this thing is actually pretty impressive. The next tile we're going to go to is closest to the pin. So what is amazing about this device is that straight off the bat, straight away, it has an option to go in and select random distances. So you can do specific wedge practice. So with this distances, you can go fixed if you just want to hit, say, 80-yard shots repeatedly. You can just go in there and select fixed and set it at that distance. You have the option to go increasing, so we can do increasing distances from a min yardage, so say 40 yards or however long you want to go. The minimum is 10, so you can go 10 yards all the way up to, let's have a look, 200 yards. So you can go increasing distances from 10 yards to 200 yards. But the coolest thing is you can do random. So I love this random practice because when I'm working on my wedge matrix, which I'll show you there, when I'm working on this, I can go, right, I want to work on my 60 degree. So I can set my min yardage to whatever I want, say 50 yards. I can set my max yardage to, let's go 92, so 90 yards. And now when I enter the driving range, I'll go graphics mode, I'll select that. Now I'm going to be working on distances from the actual distances that I set in the parameters when I launched into this, which is fantastic. So as you can see, we've got an 80-yard shot. It's telling us it's 76 yards to the front of the green, so we don't have a lot of green to work with. We're going to want to fly this to the pin and spin it. So let's hit a shot. Why not? Let's hit a wedge shot. I'll get my 60 degree. I'll get one of the balls required. First shot of the day, so we're ready to go. This, all of this as well, on the right-hand side, if you've owned an X-Putt, that looks exactly like what you see from the X-Putt. So you can tell that the company that made this device is the same company, and they've used a lot of the graphics and things that you see from the X-Putt. Okay, 80 yards. Oh, it's gonna have to sit, I think. Sit down. Not bad, pretty good shot. So you can see all of the data there. The backspin, we had 10,000. The ball speed looks good. The carry distance looks good. For my feels and what I feel, I mean, I haven't changed it from using the GC3, from using the Pro T. I've got the same exact feels and I've had the same exact shot. So that's exciting to see. For reference, that shot that I hit, it was the first shot of the day. I hit my 85-yard carry shot and we carried it 83 yards. So, I mean, that's pretty good. So you can see on the bottom left there of the screen, it is showing you where you can place the ball. Like I said, we've got a 15 by 15 centimeter box. So I'll pop a ball down there now. and you can see it in that square. You get the ready, and that ready, where it says ready, is the exact same voice and the exact same thing from the X-Putt as well. So if you've got an X-Putt, you know that, that voice very well. But you can move this around. You've got 15 by 15 centimeter box. It picks up the ball pretty quickly. And I love that because now, instead of having a single location like the SkyTrack Plus, you have an actual box that you can put this in. Okay, so that is the closest to the pin section. You can see now it's changed the location. I've got a 50-yard shot. I've got 44 yards to the front of the green. So this is fantastic. I absolutely love this section. Let's quit out of that. The next thing you have is putting practice. So just like in the closest to the pin section, you have a distance mode where you can go fixed, increasing, or random. This is absolutely fantastic as well. So now we can do random putts from 5 feet to 30 feet. We can set the green speeds. You can go from 8 stimp all the way to 13 stimp. You can have the camera mode as tracking or fixed, which is fantastic. So yeah, let's jump in and hit a few putts. And it started us off with a 9-foot putt. So I will hit a putt, why not? I have to do some more testing because I believe with this unit, I do think you can use normal golf balls for putting, but I have to do a lot more testing. But we'll hit a putt. We've got 9 feet. I'm using the included balls for this. Oh, I just pulled it. And what's cool about this is, from my testing, and I have to do a lot more, but the putting with this unit is very accurate. Okay, it's giving us a go from 12 feet now. Okay, I've pulled it again. Maybe I haven't got this thing perfectly aligned, or maybe I'm just pulling every putt. Okay, we'll go one more, 26 feet. Now in terms of feel, here we go in. Hit it a bit hard. In terms of feel, I do feel like I'm hitting it the same speed that I do on GS Pro, so I'm not changing my feels between the applications. The actual green speed feels the same. So that is the practice putting mode. I mean, it's seriously accurate. I'll have to do a lot more testing, but so far putting is a massive tick. And I'm not surprised coming from, you know, the X-Putt, the makers of X-Putt, but what I'll say about this is having a side-based launch monitor, one of the hardest things to do well is horizontal launch angle. That is really hard to do with a side-based launch monitor. From top down, overhead, horizontal launch angle is a lot easier because you can actually get a reference line and the ball moving left or right of that, the unit can pick up on. When the unit is to the side, it is a lot harder to get horizontal launch angle. It's easier to get vertical launch angle, a lot harder to get horizontal launch angle. And so far, using this thing, horizontal launch angle has been very good with putting. Okay, let's quit out of that. And then finally, the next mode you get is the game mode. So let's jump in and let's have a look at the game mode. So right now, there are 10 courses to choose from. I'll show them on screen. You can see the courses there. So those are the 10 courses that you have available to you at the making of this video. However, you can see there's more courses below it that are grayed out. So I believe these courses are coming in the future, but at the making of this video, I cannot access any of these courses. The courses that you do get, they're not what I would call, you know, well-known courses. A lot of them, in fact, all of them, I don't think I've heard of any of these courses, and they are actually quite long. So these aren't short courses. We've got 6,500 yards, 7,300 yards, 7,500 yards. You know, the courses themselves are actually quite long, but I will be showing off gameplay in a separate video. What I'll do is I'll jump into a course now just to show you guys. We'll jump into Golf Club Mediterranean. I've never jumped into this course. You can set all of your settings there, green speeds, your front nine, whether you want to play, you know, which nine you want to play, but we'll jump in. We'll just go to graphics mode. This is where it says using credits. At the beginning of each hole, credits equal to the number of players are deducted. You'll need to have credits that can play 18 holes at the start of the game. That makes sense. It shows you your credits that you've got there. I've purchased some as well as using my, you know, 1,000 credits. So we'll go play. As you can see, jumping into the course, this is the first time I've loaded this course. It is quite quick to load. looking at the graphics, I mean, the graphics themselves look pretty good. This is what it does. So it'll go and point down at the ground until you have a ball placed there. So I'll place a ball there now on a tee, just to show you guys. So we'll place a ball in the hitting area on a tee. I've gone a bit too far forward. So we're in the hitting area now. I've got it on quite a tall tee and the unit has registered it. So whether the ball's on the tee or whether the ball's on the ground, the unit will register it. All right, so now all that's left to do is I will go and play a hole. I have not warmed up. This will be my first shot of the day, apart from that little wedge shot I hit, so we can't expect much. I do love that this device has that hitting area, like I said, 15 by 15 centimeters, because it really just gives you a bit more space to place your ball, and also you don't have to putt from the same location you're hitting from. Okay, first hole, par 4, 350. So it's a nice one to ease our way into it. What I should say first off before I hit it, if you look at the mini map on the right hand side, you've got the wind 4.6 miles per hour off the left. So when you move around on this application, you can't move your location on the mini map. It actually uses the iPad screen, and the left hand side of the screen, it'll make you aim further left. The right hand side, if you touch it, it'll make you aim further right. So to actually aim this, I actually want to tap the left hand side of the screen. So now we're aimed a little bit left. Hopefully the wind should bring it a bit back. This could go absolutely anywhere. Haven't even done a practice swing. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, that was a bad strike. But I tell you what, it's not going to work out too bad. Looking at the numbers, so we've had 158 ball speed, launch direction was right, 15 launch, the spin at 26, I think it was. I mean, that looked correct as well. So we're in the rough, we're in the right-hand side. What you can see on the bottom right-hand side of the screen there is the actual percentage that it's going to affect the shot. So being from the rough, it's going to play 10% longer. So we've got 84 yards effectively up the hill. 10% is 8 yards. So it's going to play about 92 yards to the pin. So I will take my lob wedge and I'm just going to do a 3/4 shot. You can see the ball gets picked up, I mean, almost immediately. You get the same familiar ready sound. If you have the X-Putt and you have the audible alert on, it says ready, and that's the exact same one that the Square Golf uses. So you can tell it's the same company. Along with that, on the right-hand side, you can see the green. You can see the actual heat map, and that's the exact same heat map and same style that the X-Putt uses. So you can tell that this launch monitor is from the same people who made the X-Putt, because they use the same things, the same physics or the same graphics style as they're using with the X-Putt software. Okay, we've got 80 yards, playing 92. Let's hit this close. I'll aim a little bit left in my room just to kind of counteract that wind. Should be pretty good. A little bit short, but not bad. Okay, that's going to leave a 20-foot putt up the hill now. Even this screen, you can just tell that this is the X-Putt software. What I will say is, what's amazing about this device is I'm not changing any of my feels from using this software and this device as I would with my, Pro T or the GC3, the iMini using GS Pro. So the actual feel and what I expect the shot to do is actually the same across both devices and softwares. And I guess that just speaks to how well this, Square Golf launch monitor and the software is refined straight off the bat. I mean, this is the first release of the software, and already, I mean, it's performing really well. Let's see if we can make this putt. We've got a 20-foot putt. It's 2 inches up the hill, so I'm going to play it 22 feet as a feel. Get right. Oh, I just pulled that. But I tell you what, it is not a bad putt. Not bad speed. And that's going to take us straight onto the second hole. I've got to say it for what it is. And this is my initial impressions, so I'm going to get to know this device a lot better before I do my full in-depth testing and then also my review. Straight off the bat, initial impressions are very good for this device. One thing I'll say about this device though, the one issue I have with this device are these. These golf balls. And these golf balls aren't bad. I'm not saying that these are a bad golf ball. I just don't like the fact that you have to use marked golf balls and unique golf balls from a company that, I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of in the golf ball manufacturing business, and also a golf ball that I'm not going to use on course. And I know the Rapsodo MLM2 Pro has the same issue, and we get around that by using ball dots. And that's another thing I've got to talk about this launch monitor is this is an indoor unit only. So unlike the MLM2 Pro, you can't take this thing outside. It is designed to be used indoors and indoors only. This could be the next big thing in simulator indoor golf. However, the one issue I have with this unit are these golf balls. And I know we can potentially use marked golf balls, we can get the dots, we can put the dots on, but having to do that is just not a perfect solution. So for me, initial impressions straight off the bat, this device is amazing, it's fantastic. However, having to use these golf balls is, in my opinion, the only issue that I can see right now. I will be doing a deep dive into the data, so stay tuned for that. I have, in my initial testing, seen some anomalies, some odd spin readings, some odd spin axis readings. Comparing this device to other photometric devices, it just can't be done. I've compared it to the Foresight GC3, I've compared it to the Pro T when they're all on, and this device is so susceptible to interference from other devices. So what I'm going to have to do is do sets of 10 with each device. But yeah, that's the initial impressions. I mean, so far it is pretty amazing at what it can do. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll have a lot more videos on this device coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, let me know. Any comments or questions, leave them down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.